Anyway, you should come with me to the dining room. We're almost finished with the food, and, well, I don't mean to brag, but we're pretty decent chefs.
I think if you took the knife away from it, it might not look as creepy. Sounds great. Lead the way. Something smells good. My stomach rumbled in agreement. I was starving.
Oh, the girl's awake.
Excuse me, I have a name, you know.
Should we really care?
Sam, I will roast that tongue for dinner if it doesn't stop flapping in that idiotic mouth of yours.
Seriously, dude? You've intruded on my house. You need to have some more respect, or you can get the fuck out.
Shh. Whatever.
I apologize for his attitude.
That's fine.
Good. I hope you'll enjoy the meal we prepared for you.
Meal? Maybe it was, for a second, my mind didn't understand what James meant. Maybe it was the doll getting into my head and distracting me. Oh, that's right, Damien and Matthew mentioned something that you're making dinner as an apology. Oh, wait, you didn't have to?
We insist. Besides, it's quite impossible to undo our cooking, even if you command us to.
I don't usually go for the smart guys, but I kind of like James. Because unfortunately, the guy that I like the most has the best character design, has the personality I hate. I don't like playboys. Never, never, never. Can't stand them. Alright, well, thank you. I don't like the young boyish type. He's not cute. Matthew put down the last of the plates on the table and bowed a bit. Matthew put down the last of the plates on the table and bowed a bit exaggeratedly to me, gesturing to the table with a sweeping motion.
Ah, there we go. Dinner's all served.
The table was filled with various foods from eclectic sections of cuisine. The table was filled with various foods from an eclectic selection of cuisines. One portion of the table was filled with elegantly plated Asian foods, and another portion some yummy-looking desserts. Yummy-looking desserts! Oh my gosh! There were yet more and more plates that I could have possibly imagined. Holy shit. Whoa, that's a lot of food. It all looks so good.
We hope you enjoy it, my sweet.
See, you have the best character design, but bad fucking personality. Hate it. What? Sweet. Me?
That's enough, Eric.
Eric? It's so cute. What the fuck?
You're no fun, James.
I don't need to be fun, Eric. Miss, please follow me.
I don't know what came over me, whether it was his politeness or maybe his power, but I couldn't help but take his offered arm. James seemed very kind and intelligent, but aside from that, there was something that set him apart from the brothers. Not to mention, he didn't seem to hold much appreciation for them.
Miss, I have to ask, why do you live alone?
It's kind of a long story.
I'm all ears if you wish to tell.
To put it briefly, I just moved here today.
That explains the luggage you brought in when you came through the front doors. By the way, we put your belongings in the room you were sleeping in. That seems to be the master bedroom, I believe.
Thanks. This house is really big. I don't think I even explored the entirety of the state when I was a child.
You lived here before?
No. Truth be told, this is my grandfather's house. I used to visit him all the time when I was younger.
May I ask why you now live in your grandfather's house?
He actually passed away yesterday. It was bequeathed to me in his will. I was sent to live here, whether I liked it or not.
My condolences. It seems like you don't like the idea of living here.
It's not that I don't like this house, or that I don't have fond memories of being here. It's just the implications that come with staying at this estate. It's kind of complicated to explain.
How do you feel about it?
I certainly wasn't expecting that question, but in a good way. It was different from what I had heard the entire day at school. I appreciated the fact that he was willing to listen. I feel angry, sad, scared, confused. It's hard picking out the different emotions that I'm feeling right now. I wish I was stronger.
You don't have to be strong.
What do you mean?
I understand that you're going through a difficult time, so it's okay to feel those emotions. You don't have to be strong at all.
He's right, you know. If you ever want to break down and cry, just break down and cry. Fuck whoever's watching. Thank you.
Are you alright? There seems to be a small bruise on your cheek.
He caught me off guard with that comment. I thought no one would have noticed something as small as that. I'm fine. He stopped and leaned in close. A bit too close for comfort. Maybe it was just me, inspecting my face. He was really quite tall, having to bend over so much just to look at me straight in the face. It was hard to look at him, especially when he was so close. After a few seconds, he straightened up and began walking again.
Well, if you're having any problems, I'm always here to listen.
That's really kind of you to offer that.
My pleasure. Here's your seat.
Let me get your chair for you, lovely lady.
Eric was very charming, and his smile pulled at my heart. The way he kept flirting with me definitely designate him as the charmer of the demons. Yet there was little distance in his eyes.
By the way, I apologize for my behavior earlier. Stealing your second kiss like that.
Huh? Oh yeah, well, I didn't believe they were incubi. It's fine, I guess. I mean, you didn't just get up and grab a kiss for no reason.
I'm not as forward, unlike Sam.
Suddenly, Eric leaned in and whispered in my ear.
I won't lie, though. I enjoyed kissing you and feeling you melt in my arms.
Okay, don't do that. I don't like the Playboys. I was torn between smacking him and trying to play it cool. Be cool. You certainly are quite the charmer. You sure are quite the charmer.
Yes, I am known for that.
Yeah, no shit. Anyways, as much as I do appreciate the constant compliments, you don't have to keep talking to me like that.
Like what?
He batted his eyelids as if he had no idea what I was talking about. I couldn't help but laugh. Well, like you're trying to get into my pants half the time.
I can assure you, I'm just a lover of beautiful women.
And you are full of shit. Something tells me there's more to it than that. For a moment, he looked away, losing a bit of his smile. Before I could question it, though, he turned back to me with a new teasing smile.
Did you want there to be more?
I didn't want to hit him, but I didn't know how to react. I couldn't look at him. He merely chuckled again in my ear.
Sorry. You just look so cute when you're blushing.
I felt my face heat up simply from his words. I then felt Eric take my hand and kiss it gently.
I hope you'll enjoy dinner, however, my dear.
Stop it! I drew my attention back to the dishes. I was both intrigued and slightly scared by the amount of food they made. Seeing my expression, Eric leaned forward and proudly smiled, gesturing to all the dishes with a dramatic sweep of his arm.
I made almost all of the dishes myself.
Humorously enough, Matthew looked at him with a shocked expression, as if he was betrayed. His face changed instantly to that of a frown.
And I'm the Queen of the Nile.
What's that supposed to mean?
Me, you, and James did the work together, dummy.
It's you, James, and I, Matthew.
James! Yes!
Little boys will always make mistakes.
Matthew looked at James in disbelief, probably for siding with Eric, and he annoyingly swiveled back to Eric to confront him.
I'm not a little boy. I'm barely a year younger than you.
Well, you certainly don't act like it.
I really couldn't help but laugh. Matthew seemed very much like a kid. He was adorable. However, I couldn't help but feel like in a way he was much more mature than the others, especially Eric.
Huh? Is something funny?
No, it's nothing at all. Thank you for the meal, all of you.
Oh. You're welcome, miss.
Such a well-mannered young lady. Beautiful inside and out.
Can I punch you?
Eric, knock it off!
In agreement with Matthew, Sam cocked up his head and glared at Eric.
Seriously, you're getting really annoying with that suck-up act.
It was obvious that Sam was the bad boy of the group. It was big, tough act. It was obviously he was physically stronger than the rest of the guys. Was there more to him than that?
I'm just trying to be a gentleman. The young girl has already gone through so much. She deserves a good treatment.
There's a difference between being a gentleman and being an obnoxious flirt.
Schooled even by James. You're gonna need some cold water for that burn.
Ooh. Aloe vera. Oh god, they're all here now. He has the girliest face, but when you look at him from the other angle, they made his face look so boxy. Ugh. See? Like that, Eric, just be like cool and solemn and dark. Why? Why do you have to be such a fucking playboy?
By the way, I don't believe we caught your name even though you know each of us.
Ah, right. I'm Rue.
It's a pleasure to finally know your name.
Yeah, that's a nice name.
You'll rue the day you heard it. I'm fucking terrible. Anyways, they were all comfortable around me, despite the awkward situation we were in. It was as if they were natural for them to be around humans. I guess that was just how incubi worked. I was still curious about one thing. Excuse me. All at once, they looked at me. I didn't know why. Having all of them look at me made me feel kind of important, like a queen or something.
What is it, miss?
I wanted to thank you for the food, but I still want to know why you all came here. I feel like I don't quite understand. Understand? Yeah, like being told a bunch of incubi randomly appearing in your house was perfectly understandable.
Oh, how do we explain?
We were attacked. We came here to heal. What's so difficult to understand?
You mean to rest? You go somewhere to heal that's going to offer you healing. If you're going to, like, rest and recuperate, that's when you go somewhere to hide. But unless there's aid waiting for you somewhere, that's why you go to heal. Ugh, the dialogue in this needs work.
Now you're just being rude, Sam.
I'm just saying, how is that difficult to understand?
No, I mean, what specifically happened?
Well, you see, we've been traveling around for quite some time now. Just recently we came into town, but we were jumped by this band of misfits. So, in order to escape and heal, we came here for shelter. Again, we apologize for the mess we made.
It's fine, I guess. So, you're all better now, right?
Yup, all thanks to you.
Huh? Me?
You see, beautiful, we feed on sexual energy. But we don't just get it from kissing lovely ladies such as yourself. We can simply touch someone's hand to obtain sexual energy. Everyone carries sexual energy, you know.
They use the word sexual way too much. I'm still in shock about their powers. It wasn't just kisses that gave them power, it was anything physical. No wonder I was out for a while. The incubi intrigued me, but at the same time, I could almost hear a warning siren going off in my head.
Is there anything else you wish to know?
Well, what do you all plan to do now?
Yeah, what are we gonna do now, James?
That is a very good question. We just got here and surely we'll be hunted again if we leave.
We can take him easily.
Not without more training, Sam. The result of that was clearly evident in our last encounter with them.
At that moment, I didn't know what came over me. I suddenly felt sorry for them. They couldn't possibly survive out there. If they didn't know it was illegal to break into people's homes, they probably didn't know a bunch of other stuff. It probably caused chaos all over town. Or, on the flip side, they could be taken in for questioning, be poked and prodded like lab frogs for research. That was even worse. Most of all, it reminded me of back then. Yay, flashbacks! I was standing alone. The entire classroom was filled with laughter and chatter, but I stood in the midst of it, quiet and alone. Sounds like first day of first grade for me. It was strange seeing the whole world pass in front of me with such vibrancy, all while I stood there. On the plus side, I wasn't engaged in any of the drama that might have arisen, like scribbling on someone's paper for revenge or kicking someone too hard. Kinda nice just standing back and watching things pass by, life go on. I'd long before convinced myself I preferred being alone. I often said to myself in encouragement, yeah, I want to be alone. There's no one I like better than me, so I ought to spend more time with myself. What the fuck kind of explanation is that? This must be preschool. But there was a certain bitterness to that, coupled with being alone, made me feel so sad. There was a difference between being alone and lonely. I just didn't realize it at that moment. Even after that moment, my father, my mother, there was no one I could turn to. I was so lonely. That's when I decided on it right then. I was going to see my grandfather. I didn't care if father wouldn't take me. I was going to walk my way over there and see what he had to say about it. It never... Oh my god, that's terrible. I had never seen him before that. What better time to see him than then? If no one else was going to help me with what I was feeling, I might as well have turned to him. After school, I decided to walk there. I had no idea how to get there. I was armed with only a scrap of paper and the address scribbled on it. As a 7-year-old, I obviously had great ideas. I soon became lost and, like I always did when I felt lost, stood there on the sidewalk, back pressed against the wall, eyes looking at the strangers passing by. And, like always, people continued to pass by. Life continued to go on. I was sadder than ever. I had ended up in the situation I was originally in. Nothing had changed. I thought I was silly for even thinking I could change things with my own hands. That was until a voice brought me back to reality.
Hun, is that you?
I looked up and saw an unfamiliar face. Obviously that whoever was talking to me knew who I was. And at that moment, things began to change. Life began moving its rusty joints, and I realized that things were moving along. Suddenly I'd become part of the crowd that moved like a blur past me. I was no longer someone who stood still and watched others hurry past me. Seriously? You're gonna say past me twice? You could have just said watched others pass by. Life had changed. I had changed. Because the very person who found me that day was my grandfather. Pretty sure we know that by the fact that they showed us him. I had the opportunity to help them. Though, would I? I wanted to. I wasn't sure if it was the best idea. After all, 5 demons in my house wasn't exactly the living arrangement that I had imagined when I first moved in. It was the matter of making sure no one found out about their powers. Thinking about them as lab rats made my stomach queasy. Even if they passed for humans, how would I explain having guys living in my house? Imagine if my friends came over. They'd practically think I was part of a harem or something. Male harem. Debauchery. Oh god, imagine if my parents came over. I think my mom would faint. Who knows what my dad would do? I think he would have them arrested on the spot. Ugh, this was hard. Maybe I should have written out a pros and cons list before actually having to decide on this.
Don't worry too much about it.
Don't worry too much about
You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what
Right?
makes you happy
You
as
just have
well.
5 guys living in your house. No big deal. Psh. It's strange. I happen to remember what my grandfather said to me when I was little. It did kind of make sense. They weren't in the exact situation that I was in before, but I did want to help them out. I think it would ease my conscience and also make me a bit happy to give them help. As weird as that sounded. Clenching my hands into fists, I strengthened my resolve to speak up. Well, you could...
What was that, lovely lady?
Oh my god, Garrick, shut up! That is,
Spit it out already.
fuck you too. You could stay with me here, if you'd like. As soon as I finished my sentence, the room became still. I'm not sure what went through their heads for my words. The silence in the air cut like a knife until I finally spoke up once more. It seemed like you're all in need of a place to stay, and well, I just moved into this giant house. So it seemed like it made sense. Still quiet in the room, I decided to keep talking. If you'd like to stay here, though, there are 2 things that I need all of you to follow.
Yes?
First of all, you can't use your powers or deliberately do something that might harm me or any guests that come over. Well, save for enemies, but you get the drift.
That sounds reasonable.
Second, you have to help me with my errands around the house. This place is kind of big, so yeah.
That is a generous offer, miss. Are you sure that would be okay? We don't wish to burden you any more than we already have.
It's alright, really. I mean, I just started living here myself, so I'd appreciate some help around the house.
A wonderful idea. We'll live here and train while helping you with the house. Servants for the lovely princess.
Hey, you get to live here for free. You're welcome to leave anytime you want.
What? Are you serious?
Shh, be quiet, Sam. I haven't slept in a bed for days.
They all seem to like the idea, except for Sam. Hey, I don't really hate the idea either, even if they were incubi. It'd be interesting to have 5 guys helping me take care of the house. The restaurant, 5 guys. Given they would follow the rules that I just laid down.
Fine, but we're not staying here forever. Only until we can beat up that group of punks.
Duh.
I think that is a reasonable time limit for our stay.
Yes, this is awesome.
Also beautiful. If you need a bedfellow.
I will use my pillow instead.
Eric, knock it off.
I was happy that they agreed. Maybe it was because I wasn't going to be lonely for a while. Maybe it was because they all needed help and my want to help people was fulfilled. I'd never be sure.
So what are we waiting for? Let's celebrate and dig in.
Finally, I'm starving.
Instantly, Matthew and Sam began to stuff themselves with food on the table. I noticed James' eye twitching in irritation, so I stifled my incoming laugh.
Really, you two? You're both acting like pigs.
Oh, let them have a little freedom, James. It's not like we've eaten recently either. I'm sure they've been starving.
Still, that's no excuse for stuffing their faces like backyard swine.
I almost couldn't hold it in. So I did. I couldn't hold in my laughter anymore. As I laughed, Matthew and Sam looked my way, faces stuffed.
Is something funny?
What are you laughing at?
I stopped to catch my breath. I leaned over the table and took a few breaths before replying. You both are so funny. Both of their faces turned to light pink before they looked away from me, and they swallowed the food in their mouths.
Shut up! We're not funny. We're hungry.
Well, we're glad that we made you laugh.
Shut up, Matthew!
What? I'm just saying.
See, James, it's entertainment for her.
They were funny to me. At least they enjoyed the food. As I watched, I took a couple of pieces of food for myself and placed them on my plate before eating as well. Eventually, we all ate dinner together. It was strange eating with just guys, but they were enjoyable to be around. They made me feel like part of their family as we ate together. However, our peace was soon disturbed.